Yo, 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 yo. All right. Y'all know what it is. All right. So, first of all, just want to express my deep and profound appreciation. I want to express my deep and profound appreciation for the In Touch News family for making this thing possible. When I say this thing, the thing I'm talking about. Oh, let me DJ cut the music. Let me say that right here. Hey everybody, welcome to the Life Malcolm Show. I'm your host, Life Malcolm. Yeah, I should have started it off like that. So when I say make this thing possible, you know what thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Life Malcolm Show. The Life Malcolm Show would not be possible were it not for DJ CEO and Mrs. DJ CEO, aka Tampa Bay Tammy, putting this thing together. They've done beneficent work in the community for a long time. You see the paper, In Touch News, been around for a long time, and now they got a radio station platform that allows us to bring the Life Malcolm Show to you. So shout out to DJ CEO and Mrs. DJ CEO, aka Tampa Bay Tammy, for making this entire programming possible. I'm your host, Life Malcolm. I think I might have said it already, but listen, let me tell you something. I really, for the past couple of days, I've been enjoying myself. So if I seem a little off, I probably am. A little off. 'Cause I haven't been as structured as usual because my daughter, my oldest youngest daughter. That means the oldest of the youngest two. My oldest youngest daughter graduated on the 20th. Graduated from what they call it. I think they call it middle school. Yeah. When I grew up, it was junior high school, but she graduated from middle school, so like I ain't had to get her up and ready for school and all that. And then the youngest, well, I guess I could just say the youngest, my youngest child, didn't graduate, but school ended, and so since what was it, like the 27th. I ain't had no real well, I guess I got responsibilities all the time, but I ain't had to get up in the morning and cook no breakfast on Monday. And today too, I had to get up and cook no breakfast and fix no lunches and drop people off to school, pick people up. Like, man, I don't even know what to do with myself. So I'm buck wilding right now. You know what I mean? My alarm is set right now. I can show you if you want to see it. I can show you. Look, I can show you. My alarm is set for 5:06 in the morning. I'm finna show you. You see it right there. 5:06 in the morning. My alarm 5:06. That alarm, and then you see the second alarm right up under it. 6:15 is wake daughters. That's the alarm. Like 5:06, I wake up. 6:15, I wake them up. And then I'm in the kitchen scrambling eggs, or if we do eggs, but most of the times it's like chopping mango, chopping strawberries, getting cherries ready, pouring up blueberries, or I gotta fix their lunch. So like usually it's peanut butter and jelly, and we cook amaranth. I don't know if you ever had amaranth before. If you never had amaranth, then you ain't, well, I was going to say you ain't got a father like me, but it's probably things understood need not be said. But, yeah, I mean, I fixed the daughter's amaranth and, put bananas. I mean, we over there like cashews, pistachio nuts, not pecan, pumpkin seeds, yeah. But I ain't have to do that today, so I'm kind of like, feeling myself like I feel unobligated, yeah. But they with their sister tonight. Thank you, appreciate it, Ace. and they just hanging out with their sister. But yeah, no, I be up with the daughters, and but there were a couple things I wanted to talk to y'all about, and not sure how we gonna get to them, but definitely wanted to say, to you, that I'm glad we're here. It's just, uh, it's a lot. So I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna tell you this. I work with a law firm, and I got a message from the person who owns the law firm said that I need to clear stuff with them before I say stuff. So it's like I don't know what to say about some things. So I'm handcuffed. Just like right here at the In Touch, they be handcuffing me. But I'm gonna tell you something. Look, tonight, I think that the In Touch News producers are going to allow me to play some HBO language. Listen, it's not real hard, but I think because in honor of my dear friend, my brother Will the Real One Bell, who bandits murdered on May 29th in 2011. Like he was a tremendous poet. He was a dude that made me want to start doing poetry. Like that's who made me. Let me say it differently. Will made me believe that I could do poetry better, and that led me to believing that I could do poetry for a living, like make money. Cause I was in. You probably, if you've been watching the Life Malcolm show, you've heard me say this before. Like if you've been watching the Life Malcolm show consistently, you've heard me say this before. That I was with a organization. I think at that time we might have still been We Take No Prisoners at that time, but I was with a few poets. Shout out to Wally B, JB, and C Main. I think Breeze, Breeze deceased now. I think we might have even been like he was with us at the time, and we went to Miami for this event called Attack the Mic, and uh uh it was put together by a woman named Shamel Jenkins. I think. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going out there with that. Shamel Jenkins Attack the Mic. I remember the T-shirt. It was a light blue T-shirt with white letters, like white writing on it. So, and uh, she had some tremendous spoken word artists from the Miami area doing their thing, man. My man Kamani was on that joint, but this dude Will the Real One was on that joint, and like I'm sure he did more than one poem, but the one poem he did that stuck out was "Man Your Battle Stations, People." And it might have just been called "Man Your Battle Stations," but like I think like the refrain was "Man Your Battle Stations, People," and it was so impressive, so dope, yo. And it made me come to the conclusion that if you're gonna get on stage and perform, then you need to memorize your poems. Cause at that time, all of us, everybody, every poet, DJ Cut the Music, I'm gonna tell you, every poet in Tampa, and I say this with no equivocation, every poet in Tampa alive at that time, which is like 2000, 2001, read their poems when they presented their poems on the mic. All of us did it. All of us did it. But when I saw Will do his thing, and since I was part, and it might have been, I think maybe the Conscious Party had emerged at that time. So, um, um, when I heard Will present his poem from memory, and experienced the power that resonated, that transmitted through the eye contact and the 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 physical, uh, you know, uh, uh, movements. I don't know. I guess physical and movement. That's redundant. I'm trying to say through the physical articulation. Well, I guess that's redundant too, because even talking is physical. You know what I mean? When he did this stuff, and then looked at you, all the stuff you can't do when you're reading from a piece of paper. When I observed that, I told Jay and Wiley and Breeze and C-Main, look, y'all, these people asking us to come to these shows and perform, and they paying us to do it. We got to memorize our poems. And that's how memorizing poems in Tampa started. It wasn't nobody memorizing no poems and performing from. I'm not even the poet laureate. We call Mr. Tokley right now. He tell you he'll read it right. He'll read it right now. If allowed. And yeah, but it was Will, the real one, Bell, who inspired that. And so I know we gotta get to a break shortly, but I'm gonna play some Will, the real one, Bell, and it's got some HBO language in it. I just want to tell you that be prepared for that. The studio, the producers of the show are allowing me wide latitude just for this brief segment, just this brief few minutes to just so you can hear Will. But yeah, so if you're offended by HBO language, after we come back from the break, you might want to mute for about 5 minutes, like whatever. But we're gonna play Will, the real one. He's gonna say what people call the N word, and you might hear what people call the F word. Like maybe once or twice. But after that, but the message though. Will was just so powerful, and I just want y'all to experience Will, and I'm gonna talk about him a little bit after we hear the poem. So that's what we're gonna do, and see you after the break. Gonna jump right into it too, man. We're gonna jump right into it. No, that's not true. I'm gonna do the disclaimer when we come back from the break, in case you're just tuning in. But hey, I appreciate you tuning in to the Life of Malcolm Show. I got a whole lot of stuff I want to do tonight, and we're gonna do it.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661. By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Been in a car crash? Call Ricky. Don't know what to do? Ask Ricky. We will connect you with a lawyer and doctor experienced in auto accident injuries. Call Ricky at 844-361-7425. After an auto accident, you have 14 days to seek medical attention. You may be in pain, so call Ricky, ask Ricky for your best options. 844-361-7425. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal and medical referral service. The lawyers in our network pay to receive referrals.
All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News Radio. I want to tell you what I didn't tell you earlier, which is what I should have told you. I'm sure you're tuning in some kind of way. If you hear me, you can tune in on www.intouchnews.com. You can also tune in on the Facebook page, in the In Touch News Facebook page, and you can tune in to us on the In Touch News YouTube channel. Gotta keep all that in mind. All right. Listen, I'm trying to get all my ums together, but look, I'd rather just give you me and you and I are gonna work through my arms together. You can count them if you want. I mean, every week I'm doing less arms, but for now, you know, it is what it is. But you can call in at 813-444-9588 and talk about whatever you want to talk about right now, because we don't really have no subject. I'm just talking right now about my month of May. I'm just talking about my month of May. And part of my month of May is remembering my man, Will the Real One Bell. And if you were tuned in prior to the break, you know I told you when we play Will, you're going to hear some HBO language. What people call the N-word. And if you're offended by the N-word, maybe you need to look inward. We also might hear the F word, not the word you think about in this LGBT community. The other F word that some people are still offended by. Just want to play Will, man. We're just gonna get right to it. So here we go. Oh. No, it's not here we go, because it's in my headset. So give me, I gotta organize myself a little bit better. Turn off my Bluetooth, and now, hey, look, man, look. You. This is like the best programming in the world when you get to see how you can do it yourself, and if you don't get it exactly right the first time, how to recover. Because when we make the DVD, do they even do DVDs? And whenever we make the documentary, I don't know what it's gonna be on USB, whatever. But you ain't gonna see how I just thought I was gonna play it for you, but played it in my headset. But it's gonna be like seamless. But because you were tuned in to the Life Malcolm Show, you be like, oh, I see how they did that, and you can do it too. All right. Here we go. Will the Real One Bell, and this poem is I don't even remember what it was called. Well, here we go. Is it playing? I don't know what's going on. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Take 3.
And I get a phone call from my little cousin talking about he just got shot at. And the first thing goes to my mind is why every time a nigga get a chance to stick his head up out of life muddy waters is his street royalty requested. I mean, it's not like for me gunplay was ever subconsciously manifested, or maybe it was. Maybe that's why at 3 o'clock in the morning he decided to call Big Cuz. Because 3 years ago my motto was, shoot first, ask questions later. And almost like I was an autopilot, I got dressed, put on a bulletproof vest, and I flexed. Put some Scarface in my CD changer to channel my anger, and when I was driving up Biscayne Boulevard, my heart became cold and hard because everybody knows that a soft heart don't squeeze triggers. Hit the CD changer, went straight to Icons, fucked them other niggas, and by the time I got to 54th Street, it was on. Even though it seems just 3 hours ago I was trying to change the world through one of my poems, I done fucked around and got put into a do-or-die situation. My destination, 3 blocks past the Metro Rail station, Blue House on the corner. See, it's been 3 years now, some things done changed in my life. Not like the old days when it was cool to grab a tool to poke some holes in a few fools. See, tonight, I'm feeling like I got something to lose. And maybe it all went down at Piper High School when a young lady walked up and told me that she was her brother, turns out, just like me. Or maybe it was at North Miami Senior High Miss Blues class when they studied my poetry for Black history. Or maybe it was in that letter from an inmate from Rayford Penitentiary stating that now through my poetry he could be free. But nevertheless, I'm sitting in this truck with a fully loaded Glock to represent the man in me. In some way, somehow, this has to stop. Because in about 3 or 4 minutes, we're finna yellow tape off this. And I'm asking myself questions like, how did I go from being righteous to crazy? Do I really want to take part in another mother screaming, oh God, please stop my baby? So I step out of the truck and position myself between my cousin and the victim. And I say, in order for this shit to go down, you gotta shoot through me to hit him. And I understand that you feel like you've been done wrong, but brother, tell me, how many, how long will we continue to throw deaths in our mind and have our lives be defined by how many niggas we can put in the chalk line? See, way before it was just black on black crime, it was black on black line. So let me break this shit down for y'all in this black on black rhyme. See, we made ourselves believe that we didn't need each other. But how many times you done been in an all-white situation and was so fucking glad just to see another brother? So we need to take that feeling from the boardroom to the streets. And nigga, me not wanting to kill you tonight does not make me weak. What makes me weak is not having the ability to let you know that in spite of yourself and regardless of your actions, I still love you. You look just like me. And brother, we really ain't got to do this.
So that was my brother. And I really want to appreciate the station for, of course, that's not how the station rolls and, this daytime hour. But, I asked for that latitude. And because I ain't had the time, I did not have the time to edit all the stuff out, or the skill to edit out all the stuff Will said. But, and maintain the energy. I tried, but I wanted you to feel what Will, the real one, Bell, gave to the stage. Oh, if you ain't know, that was Mos Def who introduced Will at the Def. I think it was called HBO Def Poetry. I think it was called Def Poetry, and the thing that's significant about that is Will, the real one, Bell, was the first down south, like not up in New York, Baltimore, D.C., Maryland. He was the first down south spoken word artist to ever make it on the HBO Def Poetry. And like he paved a road for us. I mean, it's crazy too. I mean, like it's crazy. That and the poem that we just played was not the first poem that Will ever did on Def Poetry. I think it was the second. The first poem he ever did was "You Better Run," and I know we probably can play that because every the stanza was "You better run" in word. That's how we say it, right? You better run inward. That thing, I guess if we're gonna say it now, but you better run. You better run. Like that was the refrain, but the poem was so dope, and so that, I think that was the first joint he did on HBO Def Poetry, and I can remember all of us. Like when I say all of us, I'm talking about spoken word artists in Florida, Central Florida, North Florida, Southern Florida, big, of course, Will from Miami, South Florida. Like everybody. And then, some of us beyond the Florida boundaries just sitting around waiting to see this debut of this African, this poet on Def Poetry Jam, man, representing for the South. And Big Will came through, and I think this was like his second presentation. But anyway, man, I really love and appreciate everything Big Will gave to spoken word in general, and really appreciate what he gave to me. I'll tell you this. we did this thing called Pajama Poetry Night. I called Will, and this after he been on HBO. He was on HBO and doing big things. I'd be like, Will, I need you to come through and do Pajama Poetry Night at the Cotton Club, or come do Pajama Poetry Night at I can't remember. Maybe it was called the Good Luck Cafe, and he show up like. I ain't gonna tell you what he did charge me a little bit, but it was still some brotherly love on it, you know what I mean? And I appreciate it. But man, he come through in a bathrobe and do his thing. We just had really good time. All right. So I just want to do that. Shout out to the month of May. Big Will, I miss you, bro. For real. I appreciate everything you gave to us for the poetry game, and I hope that you're not too disappointed in the way that it's going right now. But I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that spoken word and poetry in Florida gets to where you wanted it to be. So I kind of started the show a little differently than I normally started. So I know we got a break coming up, but what I'm going to do, though, is tell you about how my daughters, I don't know if you know, I have 3 daughters, 24-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter, and 13-year-old daughter. And when we come back after the break, I'm going to tell you how my 14-year-old, actually I can't put it on the 14-year-old. I'm going to tell you how my 13-year-old daughter attacked me over the weekend. I'm going to tell you all about it when we get back. But in the meantime, I just want to say that this is the Life Malcolm Show. I really appreciate you tuning in, and we're going to talk right after the break.
St. Petersburg, Florida, get ready. DAT Entertainment LLC presents A Night to Remember, Saturday, June the 4th at 7 p.m. at the Florida National Guard Armory, 3601 38th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33711. And this will be a show you won't forget, featuring the Manhattans with Gerald Austin.
I had to meet you here today. Told the fellas I'm not going out tonight.
Award-winning comedian Chris the Mayor Thomas.
I saw this little white girl the other day. She said, "You have some big lips. I wish I had lips like yours." I said, "Bitch, hold still."
And R&B soul singer A. Renee.
At the casino. Let's go back to the way things used to be.
Advance admission $60. Door price is $75. VIP $90. And this is a BYOB affair. You can also reserve tickets now at Eventbrite. For ticket information, contact JT the Dancing DJ at 813-412-0435. And for more info, call 727-486-3702. DAT Entertainment LLC presents A Night to Remember, Saturday, June the 4th, with a Manhattan featuring Gerald Austin.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
All right. So, I told you, I made a promise. I got to keep the promise. I told you I was going to tell y'all about the stuff I have to go through when I'm talking to my daughters. I'm sure that all the fathers of teenage daughters out here can relate, because this is what we go through. So the other day, and just so you know, I'm probably going. So we're gonna take another break, but after that break, I think that whole break, like the whole segment after that break, is gonna be about some scripture stuff. So I know you go ahead, call in if you want to, man. 813-444-9588. But I'm finna talk to y'all, scripture people. So be ready. All right, but I gotta make okay. So what I need to tell y'all about my daughters, my teenage daughters. I have two teenage daughters, one 14, the other 13. And I consider them to be very bright people. And not just because that's like I just think that about my, but based on the marks they get in school, and based on how the teachers talk about them, and the principal, and there's enough objective evidence that they're bright children. But I'm convinced that they wake up every morning with a plan with me. Yeah, you saw it. Like that wasn't digital. I edited myself, but I want to say it, 'cause they wake up every morning to just with me. I'll give you an example. One day, okay, I might have even said this on this program, I don't remember, but the Kendrick Lamar video, you know what I'm talking about? It's the one, it's something 5 or whatever, but like the Kendrick Lamar video where he changing faces and stuff, right? You seen the video? Like, it's a good video. It's dope. Like Kendrick Lamar changing faces and what have you, and so like when I take my daughters to school every day, what I do, the youngest sits in the front seat. The eldest of the youngest sits in the back seat, and so before we got ready, before we got in the car, went to school, go to school, I played the video for all the children. And so then now we in the car discussing the video, and I'm like, hey, did you recognize, and I hope I'm not spoiling it for you. I know I'm spoiling it for you because you ain't seen it, but I was like, did you recognize all the faces in the video? And so this the passenger seat, this the behind me seat. So the youngest said I didn't recognize the first face. And so Smarty Pants back here say, you talking about Kendrick Lamar? Because he the first face in his video. And like, that was Kendrick Lamar. And she like, I didn't mean Kendrick Lamar. So then we got past that. And then this one right here said the second face after Kendrick Lamar, the one right here. And I was like, oh, that was OJ. I looked at her like, I was driving. I'm going to say I was stopped at a stop sign. I'm sure I wasn't looking and driving. I was stopped. So I looked and said, that was OJ. And she said, OJ Simpson? I said, yes. She said, I never heard of him. I said, I said a lot of things that I can't, because I didn't get clearance to say it. Like, Will had the clearance. But come on now. How you gonna tell me his first and last name and you ain't never heard of him? So that's the kind of stuff that's how that's how my morning starts dealing with the daughters, right? So the other day, same seat right here, same seat, and the other one. So youngest right here, oldest of the youngest right there. All right, you with me? All right, so this is what happened. I just want to let you know what what I go through as a father. So all right, so I forget exactly what the subject was about, but you know what the whole thing was. But somehow we talking about I guess religion, religious inclinations or whatever. So the oldest of the youngest, the one sitting right here, because for whatever reason, the oldest of the youngest, it don't even matter if nobody's up here in this seat. The oldest of the youngest, she won't sit in the front. I'm like the Uber driver all the time. She always in the back. Anyway, so she in the back, and she says, "Daddy, I'm agnostic." Okay, all right. So the inquiry-based learner she is. My youngest daughter, my youngest child, asks or says, "I don't know what that means. I don't know agnostic. I don't know that." And so, the oldest of the youngest, she rides around with a dictionary that's about this thick. So she pulls out the dictionary and she turns to the page and she hands it to the youngest. Because they want to know. She doesn't know agnostic, right? And so the oldest of the youngest hands the youngest the dictionary. So attempting to apprise the youngest of the meaning of agnostic. And so my youngest gets the dictionary and says, these the A's, like as in ABC, look, the A's. And she like, yeah, it's the A's, yeah, what? And she like, well, why? And then she said, what you thought it started with? And then she said, E. So she thought it was agnostic. Like eggnog, like, so not by the way, you might have thought it too. It might have had the same meaning. You might have thought it was egg. It's not agnostic, in case you didn't know. It's agnostic, meaning without knowledge, without any knowledge of believing this way or that way. That's what agnostic connotes. But it's not. It's definitely not agnostic. But that's what she thought it was. She was like, I thought it was agnostic. And I was like, okay, all right. I understand. I could see how that could be. And so, and this is the same car trip. We still ride. We ride. In some kind of way, the conversation, narcotics came about in the conversation. This one back here talking about speed. She's talking about speed and methamphetamine, right? You with me? You say speed and methamphetamine. And this one right here is like, okay. Something about methamphetamine. I forget the exact point she attempted to make. But her point was when she said methamphetamine R, she thought she was right. And the one back here was like, no, it's methamphetamine is. And she say, no, methamphetamine R. Then she say, no, methamphetamine is. Then she say, no, methamphetamine are? You said, no, methamphetamine is. And then she say, because it's singular. Methamphetamine is singular. Then she say, the one who kept saying methamphetamine are, she say, yeah, I know it's singular, but I thought since I said two things, it's R. So she thought it was meth and amphetamines. Yeah. I'm just letting you know what I have to go through when I take my children to school.
Those, I must say that those are quite that's interesting dialogue.
Oh, you got your mic on. Oh,
for children.
Oh, snap. Oh, man.
Tell me their ages again.
So my youngest is 14, and my youngest is 13.
That's good dialogue. That's good intellectual dialogue.
Hey, it's funny though, right? Because especially with that methamphetamine though, because she was right with her grandma. She was like, "Look, it's
she was dead on.
Hey, methamphetamine is R. Methamphetamine R." But she did wrong with her words, right? That reminds me of you remember? Must have been, I would say about 2018 when they had this guy killing people in Tampa Heights, like they called it Seminole Heights. I think it's Syriac. You remember that?
Yes.
And so I'm down in Homestead at the time because of going to law school in Miami Gardens. And I'm talk to my mother all the time, kind of like a mama's boy. And so she called me and said, "Hey, Life, we got a serious killer on the loose." I say, Mama, my mama called and said we got a serious killer. I say, Mama, it's called a serial killer. She said, yeah, but this thing serious. And you know how you can't beat that. You know what I mean? Like I was like, it's the serial killer. She said, yeah, but this thing serious. So from now on, he been the serious killer. And just like the methamphetamine, like the logic is there. So she was right with the grandma. The methamphetamine, if it's two things, then it's R. But since it's one thing, it's is. And we is about to go to a break because I think it's about that time.
It is. But before we go on this break, you said something about the way you get up in the morning and you fix breakfast for your kids and all those things. And what was unique was when you said you fix breakfast. You didn't start out with, I put some eggs on, I put the bacon in the oven, I put the biscuits on, or I get a box of cereal, I pour some cereal.
No boxes.
Oh no, you didn't go anywhere in that direction. You talked about fruits and vegetables and things of that nature.
Yeah. So
what's up with that?
Well, so I could tell you, like, every day we're going to have a bowl of oranges or grapefruit. We're going to have some citrus every day. And we also going to have either cashews and pistachios or pistachios and pumpkin seeds. Like, so we're going to have those nuts. So we're going to always have the citrus. We're going to always have the nuts. Then sometimes, it's like amaranth. If not amaranth, it's lentils. If not lentils, then it's black beans. And then on the side, we have fruit. It's either going to be strawberries, cherries, blueberries, bananas, kiwi, cantaloupe, papaya, watermelon. That's every day. That's how we eat every day. And they're going to get they get their vitamins and minerals, like supplements, and we do that. So this is how we eat. You can go to my Instagram page and see pictures, man. We eat like that for real, man. And you should eat like that too. And I'm glad you feeding yourself on the Life Malcolm Show right now. And when we come back, we can talk a little bit more about that if you want to. But we right here, 813-444-9588. I hope that you call me and we'll talk. If not, man, I could talk to you all by myself.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Jazz at Miss Connie's House is brought to you by Ray Williams Funeral Home, providing the highest quality, professional, and caring service for your family. Call Jeffrey Rhodes at 813-253-3419. That's 813-253-3419. Or visit him at 301 North Howard Avenue, Tampa, Florida. Ray Williams Funeral Home, for the finest care and quality service.
All right. Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News Radio, where everybody is a star. And the biggest star is you. I just got to tell you that it's been an incredible opportunity to kick it with you this evening, kind of, jumping around from this subject to that subject. But I just really wanted to share with you that story about my daughters. It's my belief that every day my daughters wake up thinking about how they could mess with me. And I'm only using the word mess because this is not the HBO language segment. But come on, man. I told you about that thing. She say, I said, it's OJ. She said, OJ Simpson. I said, yes. She said, never heard of him. I told you that. Come on, man. How you gonna tell me his last name and you never heard of him? Like, and then she gonna tell me like, I'm talking about agnostic, and she's smart too. Like, look, this the one get all A's. She get all A's, and then she look at it and say, I thought it was agnostic, and so now it's agnostic. And then what's the other one? What's the one I just said?
Myth.
Oh yeah. Now we having this serious, deep conversation about drugs and my daughter is like, yes, no, methamphetamine are bad, or whatever the sentence was, and my other daughter like, what? No, it's methamphetamine is bad. And she like, no. I mean, her grammar was tight based on her belief.
Is she the one that's going to be the attorney?
Hell, I don't know now. Yeah, she might be the attenuation, but yeah, but no, both of them probably gonna be attorneys, man.
You don't have another doctor in the house?
Oh, we got a son, so he might be a doctor, but these daughters, the way they mess with these words, yeah, I can see him. I could see him in the attorney lane. I had the oldest of the youngest called and canceled a deposition for me the other day. I was like, hey, you got to call. Who was it? I think it was Pinellas. Call Pinellas County, ask for this person in this department, tell them you need to cancel the deposition. So, she encountered some difficulties.
But she handled it.
What? Next thing I know, I got an email saying, your depositions have been canceled. I was like, oh. Yeah.
Made you proud.
Yeah. And the youngest swears that, well, both of them swore they weren't going to be an attorney. They don't want to be attorneys. But the youngest was like, I think I'm going to do it. And the oldest of the youngest, I think she really enjoyed that. Maybe if she's not an attorney, she might be a really good attorney's assistant. You need somebody at the front desk I could trust. So what yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy the thing you have to go through as a parent of these what you call them, millenniums, whatever whatever you call these people. Millennials. It's not millennial, whatever it is. Them people. Let me, because I don't just consider them my daughters. No, I can tell you this right here.
They're actually not millennials.
Oh, what are
they? May be Gen Xers.
Oh, okay.
Generation X.
So am I a millennial?
I think you're a millennial. You in your 40s?
No. I'm born in 75. I got to be. I think I'm like one of the things.
Oh, yeah, you old.
Yeah, I think I'm with I'm like the boomers or something.
You're not a baby boomer.
Okay, I'm right after them.
No, those are millennials. No, you're after millennials.
I'm born in 75.
You're born in 75.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of my children were born in the 80s.
So
80 to 89.
They the millennials.
Those are millennials.
Yeah.
So you are
before them.
Exactly, but it wasn't millennials.
It was like it was the boomers.
Baby boomers. Yeah, you might be right.
I don't know. I think I'm in the boomers.
Okay, I'll Google that.
Yeah, Google it. Google it. But what I'm finna tell you right now, though, we booming. In the daddy, in the fatherhood world, man, like these daughters. I wish you could see how I'm. Really, I was gonna say I wish you could see how I'm managing these daughters, but even when I said that, it ain't really true. Like, they managing me. Like, that's just the real deal. Like, cause I know I ain't had no business out there on the basketball court, but the youngest of my youngest child said, "Daddy, let's go to the basketball court." I said, "Okay, baby, what you want to work on?" She said, "Let's work on some free throws and some layups." I said, "Okay, do that." And so now she out here shooting free throws, missing most of them. But you got to be encouraging. I'm like, "Yeah, baby, you can do it." So but that means I got to chase all the rebounds. So I'm out here running. You should see me running over here, running over there, trying to catch the ball, and look, but trying to look athletic when I do it, because I don't want my daughter to, let me say it differently. I want my daughter to see me, to look at me in some kind of, with some kind of esteem. So I'm out there chasing the ball, and if I catch up to it, I pass it to her behind the back, through my leg. You know what I mean? But boy. Then we started doing a layup drill. And after about 20 minutes.
You just not as young as you used to be.
I thought I was finna die. And I thought I was gonna die, man, for real. Like I was like, hey, just go ahead and shoot as much as you want. You got to get your own rebound now, like that, because I need you to follow your shot.
Let me give you some history.
Yeah.
Baby boomers.
Yeah. Hey, we finna talk about that, because we were talking about, all right, baby boomers.
Born between 1946 and 1964.
All right, who after that?
Those are baby boomers. Gen Xers were born between 1965 and 1979.
All right, so I'm a Gen Xer.
Yes, that's who you are.
Okay.
Millennials are Gen Y or millennials.
I think they changed that though, Daryl.
No, sir.
No,
sir.
Listen. I'm just saying. I'm gonna tell you this right here. That the boomers, well, the Xers didn't come in, obviously, until. Well, I don't know.
I'm a boomer.
You right. I'm an Xer then. What like boomers have a meaning. Like at least it connotes them. What the hell does Xer like? We X'd out. What does it mean?
Gen Xers.
What does it mean?
Gen Xers had less of an impact than
we don't mean nothing.
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll take that. Well, hey.
So baby boomers and millennials are the ones that have catapulted
So
the world
X's
to
ain't
another. Yeah, X's pretty much are X'd out, unless of course the Life Malcolms of the world, change
Well, they can't count me out, but the Gen Xers, so they should be called the Gen X'd outs. Gen X out.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And Generation A.
Oh, Lord, where they come in at?
I'm getting ready to tell you. It's called Generation Alpha. Starts with children born in 2012 and will continue through 2025. So 2012 through 2025 are the Gen A's.
Okay, 2025.
Alpha. You know what Alpha stands for, right?
The beginning?
The beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that, I'm trying to have my next child before I'm 50 or at least by 50. So he might be a Gen A or Alpha.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
You need to get busy.
I'm busy all the time. But hey, we ain't here to talk about that. My business. But what we will say is, man, it's been a good time. May has been a really incredible month. Shout out to Will the Real One Bell. Shout out to my man Chris Ramsey. Shout out to Young Life. I want to talk about this case. I mean, I tell you this right here. I ain't gonna talk about it, but I tell you this. Google Grady Judd McDonald's. Like that's all you gotta do. Grady Judd McDonald's. You're gonna see the whole stuff that I would like to talk to you about, but because of my involvement with the case, I don't want to say anything more. But I really would like to hear what you had to say about it. And yeah, man, that's it. I appreciate tuning in. It's been the Life Malcolm Show on In Touch News Radio, and holla at me next week.